So basically, when we talk about funding our dreams, I have this conversation. I have this conversation a lot, right? It's this is a huge conversation around our office right now. There's first you have to identify who you are as a person, and you have to really know yourself before we start talking about a dream, right? Because you got to ask yourself where the dream came from, right? That before we talk about funding a dream, let's talk about where the dream came from. Now, a lot of times in our community, specific in African American minority communities, the dream was sold to us because I feel like the government and society wanted us to go a specific route to stay away from all the things that they do, which actually creates real impact.
Right.
So, for
They want us to
example,
support their infrastructure,
absolutely.
keep the wheel
So,
moving, be a cog in the wheel.
absolutely. So, one of the things we learned in our communities is the only way for you to retire mom, the only way for you to retire mom, to get a house, to do this, you got to either go to the NBA, you got to go to the NFL, you got to be a rapper, you got to be a singer or some sort of celebrity or a high value well, what we consider to be high value people, right? We got to be those individuals, and we gotta sell ourselves and sign that 360 contract in order for us to really get to where we want to be in life.
Yeah.
When that is far
You gotta
from
barter your equity in life.
exactly, and
Yeah.
and that's what was sold to us. And then you also think about the concept that in our communities, we're not exposed to the other opportunities that are out there that we have access to that allow us to fund our dreams. So instead, we're down this rabbit hole now, chasing this idea of the only way to win when there are like a million other ideas. And I also broke this down in the podcast as well, is that when I'm a numbers guy, so I don't sit here and speculate things. You guys can do the math for yourself. Look at the math around becoming a going to the NFL or NBA or being a celebrity or etc. Your odds, Ian, are literally less than a half of 1% to do it. That's your odds. So out of millions of people, your odds are less than a half of 1%. When I tell you that if all of us are chasing that, I will tell you that every single person watching this right now, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your odds of going to the NBA, NFL, becoming a rapper, singer, or etc., you have 0% odds if you're on this line right now. 0%. I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm telling you factually, you have 0% odds. So when we talk about that, let's talk about now switching our idea of the dream. And when we switch our idea of the dream, I encourage everybody to expose themselves to a new set of dreams. Okay. Now we talk about going to the NBA and NFL, but then you got like kids that go to private schools, like the white kids that go to private schools that are now like, hey, I wanna be the head engineer for Google. I wanna be one of the biggest coders for Facebook. I wanna work as a space engineer.
Right.
Like all of these different things where you're like, I want to be a speech
Right.
pathologist. I want to be a
Yeah.
like these are all things that
You're
like
being
we don't
conditioned
even-
from birth to believe that these are your options in life. What is given to you?
absolutely.
What is available from these institutions that are owned and funded by people that look like us and that have been so for
Exactly.
generations. Yes.
Exactly. And think about it, Ian. If we're all chasing the NFL, but then they are all chasing becoming coders for Facebook and Google. And by the way, these jobs over time, these like your dream of working for Google, there's so much more opportunity there. And by the way, when we talk about the salaries and the type of lifestyles that these people live, there's no comparison. Zero comparison, which is why there's no competition because we're not even focusing on those positions over there. So adjust your dream and expose yourself to something new. I also give another example. When we talk about skills, we don't even think about the fact that if we look in our community right now, how many skills are inside of our community right now that are making millions of dollars? Well, for one, it's taxes. For two, it's insurance. For three, you got nail salons, you got laundromats, you got plumbers, you got electricians, you got contractors, you got HVAC. You got I said electricians. You got all of these people. Think about this for a second.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for any
Man,
one business.
man,
Easily.
I'm telling you. And these are all just skills, mind you, skills that were never taught to us to follow that, as opposed to saying going to the NBA or in or NFL or all of these celebrity positions, when the things that we should actually be doing out of life are right in front of us. So when we talk about funding your dream, you have to change your mindset around what that dream actually is. And secondly, to wrap that part up, is you got to understand what you're actually built for. I think the biggest reason why a lot of people are like, hey, quit your 9 to 5, go into entrepreneurship. That's the big thing right now on the internet, like, which to me makes zero
Yeah.
common
Be
sense.
your own boss, own your own stuff, and there's just no context around.
No context. It makes
Yeah.
zero common sense, and it's normally done by people who are trying to sell their courses because that's the way that they make money.
Right.
Which I'm
And
not
everybody
hating
don't
on
have
it.
to. You could
Yeah,
join it. You could join an organization like yours and just be a brick in that building and get equity in it.
But here's another part, Ian. Think the reason why most people are taking the route of saying leave your 9 to 5 and go into entrepreneurship is because, remember, it starts back from the beginning again. When you're not happy with the actual job that you do, it's the reason why you're searching for something different. These people that work at Google and Nike and Facebook and all these companies, you think that they're having conversations like that? No. Why? Because that was their dream job to begin with. They had their dream job.
For us, it pays the bills, but it doesn't give us fulfillment.
It doesn't give us fulfillment. So we're working as a cashier somewhere. And of course, I want to leave my 9 to 5 and move into entrepreneurship. I work as a cashier. I don't even see an upside for me, nor is there going to be one. But imagine now, if what you were actually doing, there was complete fulfillment in it. And on top of the complete fulfillment, your lifestyle is taken care of at the same time. And you're like, yo, this is a dream. So the issue is that when we take it back to dream, you have to understand yourself, identify who you are. Then you got to know what you're built for and realize that you could work your dream. And if you and I will tell you that if you were not fulfilled at that point, then yes, maybe entrepreneurship is the route to go. But when I say understand yourself, you got to understand that the entrepreneur business owner route, that's not for everybody, because it requires a very particular type of person, a very, very particular type of person that I think that 98% of people are not ready for anyway.
Yeah, everybody can't lead. We've seen our share of bad leaders. I've seen bad leaders. I've worked for bad leaders. I've worked for great leaders. It's a niche thing. Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Just identify your dream, man, and realize and just expose. I just ended off saying, just expose yourself to something new. Don't just follow the herd and the sheep and what they're telling you to do, because that's where they want you to go. Expose yourself to something new, and I promise you, it's going to change your entire perspective around what's actually out here. There's millions of things that you can do out here, but we only know about 10 of them.
Right. And my philosophy on any of us that are working 9 to 5s out in corporate or wherever, take a look at that institution and what they offer to you to help kind of like load up your chamber. Like, do they offer free leadership training? Do they offer mentorship? Yep. Do they offer tuition reimbursement?
Yep.
Look beyond your paycheck, what they can invest in you. Like, look at what you can do. Like, let's say you got a 401k, you've racked up like $50,000 or something like that. How comfortable are you with taking, like, say 5 or 10% of that, doing a draw and investing that in something that you want to do with the rest of your life?
Absolutely.
You can do that, especially now with the pandemic. There's been penalty-free withdrawals available.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm not advocating for people just to go out there and draw on their 401k and go willy-nilly. Like, really develop a plan and approach it seriously. But you could be your own bank. You can fund your dreams without having to go to the Wells or PNC or whoever and say, hey, give me 50 grand at X amount of interest or whatever. You can fund yourself. It's your money. You just reinvest it in your own life, man. Look beyond your paycheck. Look at what you get in medical benefits and all that, and leverage that. And one piece of advice that stuck with me, I got from an executive level leader once at a job, and she told me, because I was expressing, I think, probably career frustrations or whatever at the time. She told me before she departed, don't expect more than this place can give you. you know, and know what they can give you. So, you know, if you're not getting that validation you're looking for in that institution, then be thoughtful, be smart, and develop an exit strategy. You know, that doesn't have to be in the next 3 weeks. You know, let it breathe for as long as possible. Give it a year. You know, there's so
I
many
just to
opportunities
touch
out
on
there.
that, Ian. I love what you just said. Do you know everything that the company actually offers? I promise you, that blew me away because if you were to ask so many people that question, especially when these people are working for billion-dollar companies, which many of them have huge infrastructure, do you know everything that they offer? Because I will tell you that 99% of people, if you ask them that question, Ian, they're like, no, I don't. So when you ask them that and they say that they don't, that'll already tell you that a lot of the lack of satisfaction that they're receiving out of their lives is literally being self-inflicted because they don't even understand everything that's in front of them, even when it's right in front of them.
Yeah,
But guess
absolutely.
what? The job can't tell you to take these features and benefits that they offer, which many of the benefits that they offer are free. So they're not going to advertise it because they
Right.
got to pay for it when you take it. So instead, they leave it in the background
Well,
and say, whenever you decide to wake up to take it, that's when we'll offer it to you.
flip that mindset. They're paying you to take advantage
Yes,
of those benefits.
yes,
Like, look at it that way.
yes.
Don't look at it like, oh, they're sucking me dry. They're taking my time. They're sucking out all these income taxes, whatever. Like, no, they're paying you to better yourself. You just have to
You just
rise to
got
the
to take.
occasion.
You got to take it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I
Nobody
love
gives
that.
it
I
to you.
love
You
that.
got to take it.
All right, if you enjoyed that clip, go ahead and watch the full video here and click here for another video you might like. Take care.